Hey, Hearthside! I was muted for that whole thing. I'll have you know, it was absolutely fantastic. Every word of it. And you missed it. So let's do it again. Welcome to the stream. We waited for the ad to go. We forgot to hit the unmute on the thing. Foul play. Party foul, right? But thank you very much for joining me on the Twitch and the YouTube. If you're joining me here tonight, I'm excited about tonight's read-through. As I'm, 13 minutes in? I already told you, but if you could read lips, you probably already know it's coming. So if you can read lips, just skip past this part. Wait about 5 minutes, and then we'll get it into the booth, right? Yeah, you just got here, so we'll run it back. No problem. Just for you. And everybody else that probably missed it. So, starting over, down there at the bottom, we're reading a good short story collection tonight. And it's kind of special to me because I don't get to read a lot of short story compilations that aren't horror or sci-fi these days. So reading something that's kind of in this thing, flub, Hearthside, yeah, big flub right at the very beginning. So we'll add, hey, let's add one right at the very beginning to the counter, shall we? Oh, I don't have the flub button up here. I have it in the other booth. We can fix that though. There you go. We can't get away with it. We have to hold ourselves accountable. But yeah, like I was saying, let me put up the author's info here and the book information. This is a short story collection, and let me just read you kind of the description on here because that does a better job than I could make up off the top of my head. But he describes it as a mainstream short story collection that focuses on uplifting and often humorous little dramas around love and life. 19 stories in all that plumb the depths of desire and loneliness, loss and dreams, coping and settling, setbacks and self-discovery in this quirky new millennium. So, now that it's all like deja vu to me because I already said it once on mute. But fantastic story, nevertheless. What's also very fantastic is here, Mr. Lonnie Busch, he decided to give us a special deal for this stream. So for today and tomorrow, if you click on that link there in chat on YouTube and in Twitch, you can save a little bit of money while picking up this book, the short story collection. And hey, maybe you think somebody might enjoy this in your family. Good time to maybe pick up a Christmas present. It'll be there in time if you order it today or tomorrow, for sure, definitely. And who doesn't want to save a little bit of money while picking up those gifts? You know what I mean? Or maybe you like it for yourself. Point is, special just for today and tomorrow for our listeners. If you click on that link, you can pick yourself up a copy of that. There's the paperback on there, I know, and then there's obviously the Kindle edition as well, which is actually what I'm going to be reading it off of tonight. So it's going to be interesting. I've never read a live stream book off of the Kindle app. I think it'll go pretty smooth, though. I was kind of skimming through it earlier, and it seems to function fairly well. So I think we'll have a good time. We'll roll with it. I think it'll be okay. I got to kind of skim through a little bit of this first one that we're going to read here, and it's going to be kind of a special stream tonight in that we're not going to stop at one short story. We're going to read a little bit of it, not the whole thing. If you like it, you got to pick it up. But we're going to go through part of the first story, and then we'll skip to another story to give you a taste of the collection of what's offered. I think you're really going to enjoy it. These two pieces, I think, are pretty humorous, so I was enjoying it, at least through my kind of first skim through. It'll be kind of a little bit of a cold read, but I've skimmed through a little bit of it just to kind of make sure, the content and everything. And from what I've read, it's going to be really fun. So I'm excited to jump into that. Let's do the announcement again. I'm going to keep repeating that kind of throughout the stream as people kind of trickle in. And it feels like I've already done it twice. Because I have. Tonight, what are we drinking? Ho, ho, ho. Oh, we're drinking Holiday, which is what we just poured when I figured out I was muted. This is a soft red wheat bottled in bond. And get this, it's a Missouri straight bourbon whiskey. That's right, a Missouri straight bourbon whiskey. I've had plenty Kentucky straight bourbon whiskeys, but I've never had a Missouri straight whiskey. It was distilled, aged, and bottled by Holiday Distillery in Weston, Missouri. Interesting. I did open it for the stream because I had to check it out, right? I had to know, is it good? Is it swill? It's the holidays. We gotta have good stuff. Have you noticed the theme? Notice the theme we got with holiday thing? Okay. You noticed. You noticed. It's good. It's good. So sit back, relax, grab your beverage. Doesn't have to be, a whiskey, but it's Whiskey Wednesday, so pull out and Missouri. Exactly, says Harside. Missouri. That's right. I guess I'm not saying it right. Oh, that's good. That's good. It has the nice bourbon kind of burn that you expect. Fairly sweet and smooth though up front. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty good. I was pleasantly surprised. So the first that I know of, Missouri straight bourbon whiskey. Fantastic. Real good. Not sponsored. But if they want to, I'm not opposed. Let me know, Holiday. Let me know. I'm here for you. I'm here for you. Hump Day. Thanks. Thank goodness it is. And I kind of look forward to the Whiskey Wednesday streams because it's like, if I make it up to this point, we're going to have a fun time on the stream. And then I only have 2 more days during the work week. And then if I'm lucky, I get 2 days off for good behavior, if you know what I mean, right? And then we rinse and repeat the next week. But if I can make it to the stream night on Wednesday, I'm doing good. So, hey, there you go, right? Once again, let me just put out the stuff here in the chat and on YouTube. I'm sorry, it just floods. It floods. I apologize. That's the information about the author, his website that you can check out for his other fantastic work, and a little bit of information about the book. Plus, like we talked about, that code or link to click on to get yourself a discount on the book for today and tomorrow. So if you like it, pick that up or make it an excellent gift. Excellent gift. We're going to jump in here in just a minute, and it looks like I know I'm going to get another one, I think, on the half-hour mark, and I think I figured out how to run them in advance, so maybe we'll do that, then jump into the booth. So I'm figuring this out. I just discovered something today where it'll let us know in chat that ads are coming up, so I can control those better. So I'll have that up by the next time that we stream, hopefully. Harsai said, how are your projects going? Really good. I am in the middle of, I have 2 more sessions with my, actually technically 1 more, but I'll meet him twice, with my audiobook coach. It's part of the curriculum that I was going through, which feels really weird to me. Like it's getting really close to the end here. I'm going to graduate, if you will, and what am I going to do? That 1 day a month that I have to meet up with him, right? And then the subsequent week, 2 weeks that I take to do the actual homework. But I bring it up because today I worked on part of my homework assignment, which was how to read mathematics and chemistry. And really the point of the whole assignment was to reach out and to an expert in the field that you need help with and have them show you how to read those things. So I went back 20 plus years and relearned some chemistry and math and how to read those. Fantastic audiobook narrator as well, Dr. Sean Cordry, who also, his day job is he's a doctor, you heard that right, of physics. And he understands how to read the advanced math and chemistry by the nature of the work that he does. So he was able to teach me that. So that was interesting and kind of sucky because I recorded the whole thing, but Zoom didn't record it. I hit record, said, you're going to ask the person that's hosting it to record. Said yes. They said yes. Said it was recording. Didn't record it. So I'm going to do my assignment tomorrow because I don't want to brain dump it. How to read the mathematics and chemistry. So yeah, there we go. Our side says you're going to set out and read, and set out into the wide world and read. And it's kind of interesting because I've been doing audiobook projects this whole time while going through the coursework, and this particular one that I'm wrapping up right now, the editing of, the audiobook just gets better and better the farther it goes because I've gotten better and better, right? I've learned different things. So it's an interesting project. It's a 25-hour long sci-fi, and that one's almost wrapped up, and I'll telling you guys about it till my face is blue and that's ready. But Harside said, I did that with some classical name pronunciations. Classics degree finally came in handy. Yeah, that would definitely finally come in handy, right? All that stuff, you're like, nah, when am I going to use this in this particular? Well, now you know. Now you know. I think, like, especially with audiobooks and doing audiobooks. Oh, and I need to do this. I need to build a button for this, actually. That's what I need to do. Let me shout out Hearthside. Hearthside is also a audiobook narrator as well. A lot more experience than me. Very good at it. And also happens to stream on Twitch. So check out his channel there. And I left you a little link there. Go check his stuff out because he's fantastic. But yeah, as an audiobook kind of narrator, like the more things you know, the better, right? Like my day job is in cybersecurity and IT and all of that stuff. You know, if I almost landed a deal to read a 12-hour long book on cybersecurity and AI and the integration of that technology into the cybersecurity field. Deal fell through, but that would have been an amazing opportunity, right? Like I wouldn't have really had to look up much because I work in that. I understand it kind of inherently. And then I get to learn something kind of cool. But their timing was too aggressive for me as being like fairly new to audiobooks. They wanted it done in like 2 weeks. There's no way I could kick out 12 hours of super technical stuff in that amount of time. I wasn't good enough yet. So understanding your limitations is also important. So I passed on that one. But I passed the audition, if you will, just when I got the timeline. That ain't gonna happen. That would be fantastic. There's still time. It's more relevant than ever. Yeah. I'm sure I'll probably do a cybersecurity book here eventually. I don't know. I don't know if there's a big rush of people trying to read those. Maybe there's. I don't know. But now that I've had a little bit of training and I can handle those type of things, I wouldn't mind jumping back into that again. But I've strayed away from it so far. But I have some other things on the pipeline too. I've got a horror series coming up right after I finish this one. After that, I have another 2-part series that's not horror. I think it's a romance series. And then after that, I have a fantasy series of at least, I think 5. I think only 2 are written right now. Could be wrong with that numbers, but so yeah, I've got a lot of projects lined up in a row, which is great problem to have. And I'll be using Findaway voices for the first time instead of just straight ACX into Audible. It'll go on Audible, but using Findaway instead as the intermediary, which I don't know if this is boring all the rest of you, but that's where I'm at since you asked. No, wait, 2 weeks, sheesh. Yeah. Way tight timeline. Yeah, and they didn't have any PDF supplementaries on that book either, so it was like reading out table descriptions, and you know, I could do it, but I knew I couldn't get it done in 2 weeks. Just not, you know, having ever done that type of stuff before, really not knowing how to handle that without saying refer to the PDF, you know. So in the long run, it was just better if I turned it down at that point. And I'm sure they found somebody that was fantastic. But that's one of those things, right? I don't want to like take something and then totally fail it, knowing I'm probably going to, and then that's our relationship. You know, I'd rather be like, hey, not yet, but maybe in the future, right? Instead of burning those bridges and closing those doors. Because you got to be realistic, right? That's what it's about. But we're going to jump into this. It looks like I'm from, let's see, Airbush. I'm from Missouri, like the whiskey. Oh, really? It's fantastic so far. I am enjoying it thoroughly. I had a little taste of it before. We had some friends over for a Friendsgiving on the Saturday after Thanksgiving, because we couldn't do Thanksgiving on Thanksgiving. My wife's a ER nurse, so she was working during Thanksgiving. So we did afterwards, and we both had to try, you know, the new thing that I discovered, the new spirit, if you will. So it's good. It's good though. Highly recommend. And Airbush One says, I'm the author. Hey, Lonnie, how's it going? I should have put that together. Bush, Lonnie Busch. Well, hey, Lonnie was the gentleman that decided to give us that. Here's a little description of the book and the link that we were talking about earlier, where you can pick up a copy of the book today and tomorrow at a discounted price. So, hey, if you're liking the stories, pick yourself up a copy, and maybe there's somebody else in your family that might like it. It's the holiday season. Christmas is coming up, right? See the snow? It's your subtle reminder, right? As if retail stores haven't been doing that already since, Halloween. But here, we waited till after the Turkey Day to get that going because, stuff our faces before we stuff the retail store's pocketbooks. Anyways, fantastic book. I've read a little bit of part of the first story and some of the second story. So, like I was saying earlier, going to be kind of an interesting, not really twist, but a difference in the stream tonight. We're going to be reading a short story, part of it, and then I'm going to be reading part of another one of the short stories from the collection. And I think you guys are really going to like the humor in these and how it's written. Really well written from what I've read so far. So it'll be kind of cold readish, but not really. I've skipped through it. But fantastic so far. I've actually really enjoyed what I've read. So I think you all will enjoy it as well. And pick yourself up a copy. It looks like we're going to start an ad break here in about 3 minutes. So I'm going to wait for that. When that's over, then we're going to jump straight into the booth and start that. I already can't enunciate and talk. This is going to be great. It will. We're going to jump into the booth and start reading after this ad break here. So can't wait. It's good. Anything else that you want to tell us about the book series? Push Me. Did you see there? Mr. Lonnie? A chilly read. That's right. Oh, the ebook is free. That's even better. It's even better. You can't see that over here on YouTube if you're joining in tonight, but it is. He just put in there that the ebook is actually free, so pick that up. Can't get better than that. I guess unless he was paying you. Not putting that out there. But free, you can't get better than that. Check it out. Yeah, I have the Kindle version, so we're going to go through the Kindle version tonight and read from there. So it'll be good. I've never actually used it on the live stream, so I'm like a little nervous about using it, but I think it'll be fine. It looks like it's operating just as I expected it to, so I think we'll be okay. Flub. Oh, I flubbed again. The big flub at the beginning when I was on mute for the first 5 minutes. Thank you, Hearthside, for letting me know. New release 2. Oh. We'll do great. Well, thank you. Thank you. I hope so. Yeah. Hopefully it doesn't go the route of like, well, I was going to pick it up, but I heard that guy read it, and the reading was so bad. It won't go that way. And, I didn't realize. Did I realize it was a new release? I think I did, actually. I think you told me that. But there you go. Pick yourself up a new release for absolutely free for the digital version. Might as well do that. And is that through... That's through Kindle Unlimited, yeah. Okay. And then the paperback, too, that I see up there as well. So, still, makes a great gift. Pick yourself up a copy. All right, and that all seems to be functioning properly. All right, so here in 30 seconds, we're going to roll into the ad break. And then, like I said, we're going to roll into the booth, and we're going to start our first read here. First story is going to be The Fate of Ecstasy. What does that mean? We'll find out. It's probably not what you think. Or maybe it is. I don't know. But we'll jump into that one. It's going to be fantastic. I especially love a certain part towards the middle. We'll get there. I'll let you know. Ad break starts in 4 seconds. And hey, let me remind you as we roll into the ad break, so you might not be seeing this anyways, keep me accountable. There's a couple of ways to do that on the stream. We're going to reset our flub counter back to the 0 there. And you can type in exclamation point flub if I make a mistake, and we can add up that counter and see what we got. Some people, I don't recommend this. Some people turn that into a drinking game. If you're drinking soda, maybe. But if it's an adult beverage, you might want to ease back on that game a little bit. I'm just saying. Sometimes it happens a lot, right? It's kind of the behind the scenes of the audiobook making, if you will, right? Because you make a mistake, you stop, you go back, you re-record over it, you punch and roll, or whatever the technique is you're going to use. If it's an audiobook, highly recommend punch and roll. Save yourself a huge headache later in editing. But you'll never hear those mistakes. It's just perfect all the way through, right? That is not one read. I don't think I know of anybody that can do that. And if they can, they should be doing millions of audiobooks, because that's an amazing talent. The cover for Shoulder Hill is killer, dude. Oh, or Souter Hill. Is it Souter Hill? I said shoulder, but I think it's Souter. Let me pull it up. Mr. Lonnie. Oops. How did it do that? Yeah. Quite a few titles on there on the Amazons that you can check out. Yeah, The Cabin on Saturday. Yeah. I like that one too. I had to look at it to remember what you're talking about. Just the face and the cabin, and that's pretty cool. Did you do your own? Oh, he might not actually be able to hear. I'll ask when the ad breaks over here in about 24 seconds. Want to know if he did his own art for that, because if you read through his profile, he does art as well. You were scoping more work on the Zon. Yeah. There's also Cargo Hold, which I was reading like the short description of, and I was like, ooh, that might be up my alley. So I might be picking me up some books after this. All right, we should be back from the ad break. Hopefully you're back. And if Lonnie's there, Mr. Air Bush 1, as it were, in the Twitch chat, did you do your own art for the cabin on Souter Hill? Disc Golf Show is following. All right. Well, thank you, Disc Golf Show. I appreciate it. I think that's probably my buddy and co-host from a podcast that I do about disc golf called Disc Golf Show. And it looks like they might be tuned in to the Twitch tonight to watch. So how's it going, buddy? Appreciate the support. Using the other channel name. I see what you're doing there. No, that's the only one I did not do. Okay. Blackstone Publishing did that. Oh, cool. Okay. I need to research more into Blackstone and how their stuff goes down and how they work out stuff. That's a really good cover. I like it. I'm like staring over it here on Amazon's good streaming content. All right. One more time before I go into the booth. Want to put this out there again for anybody that just joined, because it looks like we had a couple pop in just now. Blackstone, yeah. That's some information about the author here, who's actually in the Twitch channel. So if you have any questions about the book as we read on, now's your time to ask. Pretty good opportunity. But another good opportunity is to save some money. You can pick up this book today and tomorrow, the digital version, free, of the new book, Push Me by Lonnie Busch there. So click on that link, pick yourself up a copy, grab a copy for a loved one, make a good holiday gift, and let's roll into the booth, shall we? Here we go. I'll meet you over there. Okay. Let me stop the music. Gotta stop the music. There we go. All right. Hopefully that worked. All right. Hey, how's it going, everybody? I'm back. As we step into the recording booth, trying to get my whiskey not to fall, so we don't want that to happen. All right. All right, chat. Let's put you up there. Boo-doo-boo. Cross-side says, I forget what they call that technique. Dual layered images? I'm not sure. Not sure. Let me pull up YouTube over here so I can answer any questions that might be going on there. There we go. All right, awesome. And that doesn't seem right. Hold on. Where's our mouse? There's our mouse. Okay. Okay. All right, let's jump into it. And hopefully, I think my phone is behind a little bit. It's showing me stuff from the past. Let's go live again and we'll jump into this here. Boop, boopy doop. Stream manager. There we go. All right. Hopefully that clears up. Layered images in Photoshop. Okay. There we go. I don't know if that's working. Let me see. Nope, it's not. Okay, let me go fix the camera. I'll be right back. Oh, technical difficulties. Gotta love it. All right, Mr. Booth Cam. Why are you not working? Why do you not want to work with me today? Was that why? I bet you that's why. Somehow that got turned off. All right. Good to know. Come on. I believe in you. Let's all say it together, chat. I believe in you. Come on. Fun times, right? Okay, that's a different camera. All right, there's the top of the desk. We're seeing the Whiskey Wednesday upside down. Now let's go back to the booth cam. And it does not want to work. What is wrong with the booth cam? That's that. That's that. That should be hooked up. That's hooked up. It's on. Let me switch the source again. Go back to our stream camera. Deactivate it. Activate it. Wow. Why is it not wanting to cooperate tonight? Great. Great. Okay. Let's do this. I think I can go into studio mode. So let's go back to here real quick. Hi, we're back. Let me go into studio mode and see if I can figure this out so you don't have to stare at weird stuff. Hopefully. All right, let's see here. Booth scene. Why are you being so difficult? It's not very nice. Oh, it's not detecting it at all now. Ooh, what happened? That's not good. It's the only downside of having kind of a complicated setup. Off. On. Well, that's not good. Okay, that comes up again. Why is that not doing it right? Let me see here. Configure. Deactivate. It's great streaming content, isn't it? I know. You know, we might just have to skip the booth, unfortunately, and just read from the desk, and we'll do it that way if we have to. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid. That might be actually what I think I'm going to do, because I don't think this is cooperating. Yeah, that's weird. It just decided, you know what? Not tonight. Oh, it was working earlier. All right, well. We're reading it from here. We're not going in the booth. That's not what we're going to do. So let's go back to here. Boom. All right. Let's catch up on chat and then we'll jump into this. Isn't there a word for when, for example, the foreground is a blooming tree, but inside the tree is layered a woman who is crying? Elements of the image are shared by both the tree and the woman. It definitely is just layered images, but I read them somewhere. But I read somewhere that the technique of nesting them like that has a term, I think. There are a lot of bad connections in the old noodle these days. What's the issue? Epic, we'll do it live. Yeah, that's right. I know, right? Yeah, so we're just going to jump into it, whatever. All right. Everything else seems to be running okay, so whatever. Maybe we'll go on a short break in between, and then I'll try to figure out my technical issues during a short little 5-minute break when we switch stories and do the second one. So here we go. All right. So we're rolling with it. Let me go grab my drink. All right. Was it mic trouble? No, it wasn't the mic. It wouldn't switch cameras. Couldn't get it to switch to the booth camera. So microphone works, but can't see anything. It was switching to other camera sources, but it wouldn't switch to the booth source. So I don't know. I'll figure it out later, I guess. In the meantime, let's read The Fate of Ecstasy, shall we? At least a little bit of it here. Alrighty. Here we go. The Fate of Ecstasy. Jolene Dumont hadn't planned on destroying ecstasy when she brought her report to our attention. After all, she was from ecstasy. Almost everyone on the city council remembered her. Spelling champ 3 years straight at Ecstasy Middle School, head of the chess club and debating team at Ecstasy High. She left Ecstasy on a full scholarship, went to a prestigious university on the East Coast, then graduated and started working for a multinational tire company in the R&D department, where, doing research on tire failure and recycling, she discovered that Ecstasy accounted for more flat tires per capita than any other town or city in the U.S. We acted surprised by her findings, even though we knew something had been wrong for quite some time. The gradual proliferation of retail tire outlets over the past decade had not gone unnoticed. It wasn't unusual to pass several cars a day pulled to the shoulder, trunk up, a hubcap full of lug nuts sitting on the ground. We worried about the impact of Jolene's report on tourism. The ancient beauty of the Appalachian Mountains was our big draw. Rafting, hiking, fishing, bringing vacationers to Ecstasy each year, just like a dozen other towns in a 100-mile radius. But if people had to choose between Ecstasy and all the other vacation destinations in the area, well, why risk a flat tire? We voted to keep the report quiet, appointing a task force to investigate. That's when Aaron Tinkler told us about Glenn Good's Big People. He said Good was an artist and a businessman, and collected enormous fiberglass figures, Muffler Man, Big John, the Uniroyal Gal. Aaron, his right leg pumping under the table like a jackhammer, the way it always did when he was excited about something, told us Good's men stood over 24 feet high. Aaron often brought up topics tangential to the discussion, but we listened, ready to move on when he threw his hands out as if trying to stop us from... Let's try that again. Ready to move on when he threw his hands out as if trying to stop us all from jumping off a cliff. He waved his open palms at us, stating that Good's collection attracted thousands of visitors to Gainesville, Texas every year. "Don't you get it?" Aaron said. "We could be known for our flat tires." Our eyebrows rose, our curiosity igniting slowly. A giddy pride welled up inside us, a warm little volcano at the pit of our stomachs. No longer would our town's name be fodder for countless puns and jokes, and we'd heard them all. We could distinguish ourselves in a unique and remarkable way, even if it was just flat tires. Over the next few weeks, we brainstormed every day, sometimes long into the evening. The secretary jotted ideas on a yellow legal pad, a gigantic fiberglass sculpture of a flat tire in the town square, new signs at the city limits, Ecstasy, Flat Tire Capital of America, a flat tire festival each year with special discounted prices on a set of new rubber, an interactive tire museum, a tire-themed fun park, an enormous tire swing. Creativity was flowing. Ida Laundrie, our resident author and copywriter, wrote press releases and articles for The Voice of Ecstasy. Brent Flanagan, our very own bodybuilder and fitness guru, ran a series of ads for his gym. Replace that old spare tire around your middle with a new flat one. Jolene's report had pumped new air into Ecstasy and into the members of the city council. We'd all served in leadership roles in our youth. Head of the student council, prom committee chairperson, president of the glee club, master of ceremonies, protocol officer. But this was different. We were part of something important now, something rare, exciting. It was evident by the new pep in our step. Even our spouses noticed. We didn't just go to lunch, we did lunch. An infectious spontaneity sprang up. We were exercising the right side of our brain, beginning to see ourselves no longer as city officials, but as innovators and promoters, and even, well, artists. The women started wearing sleeveless blouses, tank tops, designer coveralls with backless shoes, and changed their hairstyles, more upflung and frisky. They traded in their fake pearls for colorful jangling bracelets and toe rings. Some of the men wore leather pants, grew beards and mustaches, had an ear pierced. Change was sweeping Ecstasy. We were reinventing ourselves. At our meetings, we made popcorn in an old-fashioned movie house popper, blew bubbles from those little bottles of soapy liquid, and listened to country music while discussing zoning issues and business permits. We took up hobbies, flying drones, stringing beads, posting on social media. Over the past few years since Jolene's report, Ecstasy had become home to no less than 30 retail tire outlets, not counting the Super Walmart, AutoZone, and the many independent auto repair shops that also sold tires. We were hyped by Jimmy Fallon on The Tonight Show, made the cover of G.O., AAA's travel magazine. I think that's Go, actually. Of Go, AAA's travel magazine, and were linked to countless vacation websites. We became a destination. Our status as the flat tire capital attracted a staggering number of sightseers and vacationers, as well as a steady influx of curious risk-takers who believed they could beat the odds and drive home on all four originals. Stores offered ridiculous discounts on tires. Families purchased T-shirts and mugs and postcards. Visitors from all over the world lodged in our motels and hotels and frequented our fine eateries and cafes. Many of us on the city council became entrepreneurs, opening up B&Bs, souvenir shops, and operated street vending push carts selling hot dogs, pretzels, and kielbasa sausage. The multinational tire company Jolene worked for built a tire testing facility in Ecstasy, creating over 300 new jobs and numerous opportunities for local businesses. With funds donated by Jolene's employer, we built the Rubber Room, a city block-sized entertainment warehouse with piped-in music, strolling Michelin Man mimes. That word's mimes. Let's try it again. How's the flub counter tonight? Reminder, you can keep me accountable by typing in flub. And there's quite a few of those. I've been generous with myself. All right, start over, shall we? With funds donated by Jolene's employer, we built the Rubber Room, a city block-sized entertainment warehouse with piped-in music, strolling Michelin Man mimes. Why can't I say that? I don't know why. A city block-sized entertainment warehouse with piped-in music, strolling Michelin Man mimes, video driving games, a tire obstacle course, go-kart track, the Firestone Pizza Oven restaurant, and a gift shop. 101 things to do with old tires. That sold, among other things, sandals with tread soles and detailed blueprints for building your own self-heated shed from worn-out steel-belted radials. We held tire sculpture competitions at our annual all-weather festival. We talked Glenn Good into selling us a replica of his Uni-Royal Gal. And even with the economy off a bit over the past 12 months, it was still a good year, capped off by our Christmas decorations contest. The $500 prize going to Trojan Wheels for their darling Mr. and Mrs. Snowman family, complete with hats and scarves, and made entirely from huge inner tubes spray-painted white. Even under the barrage of accusations and allegations of conspiracy and wrongdoing, neighboring townships blaming our government members for the flat tires, claiming that we seeded nails and tacks along our streets, ecstasy flourished. Until last Wednesday, when Otto Fink of the Ecstasy Street Crew discovered the source of our undeniable and mysterious good fortune. He had been carrying a tar sack, patching small cracks and holes in the streets near the town center, when he came upon a spike, not much more than an inch or so in height and an 1/8 inch in diameter at its base, protruding from the pavement at the intersection of Boone and Redondo, the busiest streets in Ecstasy, directly under the suspended traffic light. News of the spike got immediate traction. Rival towns, long jealous of our burgeoning success, flooded our little community with local reporters brandishing cameras and microphones, ready to expose the incriminating thorn to the world, set on destroying us. Ecstasy police set up roadblocks, diverting traffic away from Boone and Redondo. They put up yellow crime scene tape around the perimeter of the intersection, winding it around the crosswalk poles on each corner, ordering folks to stay back. Reporters shouted questions. Kids rode up on bicycles ringing those annoying tinny little bells, and elderly couples who'd lived in Ecstasy their entire lives huddled close together as if they were witnessing a harbinger of the apocalypse, their ice cream cones dripping down the fronts of their shirts. All of us on the city council were vexed by the curious spike, and well aware of its implications and the potential for embarrassment. But more than that, we were distracted by the noise and hubbub of the ensuing crowds. None of us could think. We voted on the spot to convene in private session. at the courthouse. We pushed our way through a throng of onlookers, repeating, "No comment, no comment," slinking serpent-like, hands clasped in solidarity through the streets. At the courthouse steps, the police parted the sea of bustling, sign-toting rebels, holding them at bay until we were securely inside. We crowded into the elevator. The door slid closed. A hand reached between us and the back and pushed the button for the second floor. We stood in silence, perspiring collectively, holding our breath. Safely inside the meeting room, we locked the doors, pulled the blinds, ordered pizzas and 5 one-liter bottles of Diet Coke, and a chocolate ice cream pie from the Cakery Bakery. We tried to remain pleasant and upbeat, calm and organized, logical and intelligent. Humiliating, mortifying. What will I do with all those t-shirts and mugs I just ordered? An outrage. Aliens! Aliens was Cleo Soldier's answer to everything. When methane gas hung over the landfill one year, when thunder rumbled through the skies in the midst of a blizzard, when Ecstasy experienced a shortage at the gas pumps. Aliens. We all smiled and tried to remain focused. We have to remove it. We should wait, get more information. What if it's a sign? What information? We'll be laughed out of the state, or worse. A sign of what? It's a prank. Who would do such a thing? We'll be torn apart by the media. High school kids. Aliens. Cleo sat, arms folded, chin out, her eyes and hair the color of a thunderstorm. Just then, the pizzas arrived. We hadn't even finished the first pepperoni when our cell phones went off. Mothers and sisters and wives and uncles calling to ascertain our fate, to determine if the town's good fortune was in jeopardy, if we were doomed. They'd been sitting home watching their televisions, listening to radios, worried sick. The council member's grandmother said the little spike was the best thing to ever happen to Ecstasy. Someone's nephew claimed that if we removed it, we might as well board up the damn town. Another said the scandal was like a broken nose that would never heal. The chocolate cream pie arrived. All right, and I think we're about to enter into an ad break here soon, so I'll probably We might be able to make it through the next page, and then we'll pause there for just a moment and wait for the ad break to subside and then go from there. Actually, I wonder if I can force it now. Hold on. That might be better. Yes, I think I can. I'm going to force an ad break here real quick so we can just get that over with, and we'll resume with a little bit more of the story, and then we'll take a short break, and we'll dive into the second one. Real quick, before we go into that ad break, just want to hit this up here and let you guys know a little bit about the author, a little bit about the book, and remind you, hey, there's that link down below where you can get the book for free today and tomorrow, so you might as well pick it up, right? It's a good thing to maybe get for gifts. Just saying. Just saying. Our side says ads and tech issues. Webcam work ahead. Yeah, that's webcam work is definitely ahead. I don't know why it stopped working. It doesn't make sense. Lights on. Like it's working, but it's not working. It's just black. So I don't know. I'll try to figure that out on break, I guess. Or I might go try to troubleshoot it during this ad break that I'm going to force right now. See you back in, I think it's 2 minutes, 3 minutes. It'll let me know, hopefully. See you then. Maybe. If that worked. Hey, it's a minute long. Okay, cool. Okay. And I hope that doesn't actually start because I forced it early. Okay, let me see if I can figure this out. All right, let me go into studio mode. Booth scene. Yeah, it's still on the overhead cam because it's not picking up the booth cam. I wonder if it's not picking up any of them. It's not. Ooh, I wonder if the source is borked. That could be it. All right, I might have to figure that out during the break. Okay. No. All right, that's interesting. So I just figured out too, if I force the break, why did it switch to that? If I force the break, I thought I could like get it over early. It kicks it off again. That's not what I want. I don't like this. Can I just snooze it? I guess. Yeah, let's snooze it, finish this up, and then we'll go to a short break while it goes to ads again. Yeah, let's do that. Snooze. Snooze for 5 minutes. Perfect. Okay. So in 5 minutes, we'll have a short little break, and then I'll figure out some technical issues. And then hopefully for the second story, I'll actually join you in the booth in a much better reading environment. Huh? All right. So let's finish off here. So apparently, maybe we're deciding it's aliens. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see what they decide over their chocolate cream pie, if you will. All right. Okay. Orville and Wilbur, twins named for the famous flight pioneers, were the longest-standing members of the city council. They said the spike was a prank, like the soap detergent in the town's water fountain years ago, and that it had to be removed. Orville and Wilbur agreed with each other on everything, but the rest of us, unwilling to listen to reason, argued back, pointing out that we would no longer be the flat tire capital of America, that people would stop coming, and that they'd probably start making fun of our name again. None of us could forget how unrelenting and cruel the jokes had been. Ecstasy will be a ghost town, someone added. Silence screwed down tight over the room. Ghost town. The words hung over our meeting like a death sentence, which was exactly what removing the spike would be. But the spike will be the bane of our town now, Wilbur stated soberly. Flat tires will no longer be a novelty, just a nuisance and a plague. No matter what the consequences, we must remove it. Wilbur's twin brother, Orville, bobbed his head in solemn agreement. We looked down at our clothes, then at each other, feeling like phonies. In the years past, our town's name had been the joke. Now we were. Our confidence was sliding. What had seemed perky and adventurous over the past few years, our new hairdos, our tattoos and facial hair, our Mick Jagger t-shirts, all seemed ridiculous and silly. Not only were we embarrassed for ourselves, but for each other. Even our children and siblings had started shaking their heads at us, smirking from the upturned corners of their mouths. We succumbed to self-pity and despair, then self-loathing for even considering something as evil and malicious as deliberately leaving the spike. We all looked to Wilbur, a faint knowingness and compassion coloring his eyes. After a somber and tearful recess, we came back to order and voted. Unanimous. The spike must go. Our street crew hammered and tugged for several days trying to remove it, while cries of fraud and corruption echoed across newspapers, radio shows, and television broadcasts. We were a joke to the entire country, a farce, a hoax. The devil's machine. Who could do something so underhanded? People were heard to say. Who would stoop so low? We were called crooks and scam artists and hucksters and soulless profiteers. Individual lawsuits were filed with the courthouse clerk. Class action lawsuits were rumored to be in the wings. Jolene Dumont lost her job at the tire testing plant and was accused of collusion and left town in the middle of the night, alone, pulling a small U-Haul trailer. The multinational tire company laid off 290 workers, retaining a skeleton crew in hopes that the controversy would blow over, and then took down their sign. Police isolated the intersection of Boone and Redondo from traffic and passerby. The street crew labored on the small spike amidst catcalls and booing. We came down to watch, all of us at first, our numbers dwindling under the constant pressure of questions and salvos of nasty remarks. We had brought shame to our town and ourselves. One person threw a hot dog with mustard at Aaron. Another yelled out that Ida's poetry collection was crap. One woman called Cleo a dyke. Cleo shot her the finger. The crew struggled on, utilizing trucks and chains, though it was hard to attach anything to the tiny spike, which was no bigger than a valve stem. They could not bend it or break it, drill it or smash it. They tried cutting torches and titanium carbide-tipped saws. They drove over it with a bulldozer, tried to yank it out with a backhoe. They suggested jackhammering the surrounding pavement, digging it out. Extensive demolition, the crew foreman said. It's the only way. The city council met again. We were haggard from unrest, demoralized by family ridicule and disapproval, ravaged by the press, frightened by threats of termination. We had received hate mail and countless threatening phone calls, tire stores and local business owners aghast that we would even consider removing the spike. Then others, equally disturbed that we had pulled such a stunt in the first place, accusing us of installing nails in our city streets. We regarded each other with dismay and suspicion. Animosity grew between us like kudzu. Our home lives were splintered, and so was our group. Orville and Wilbur sat at opposite ends of the conference room, worn and bald, their faces pale as white walls. Okay, I'm going to stop there because our ad break does start here in 30 seconds. Thought I could delay it, sorry, or push past it. But Twitch had other ideas. So we're going to do that real quick. I'm going to continue to troubleshoot and get the booth thing up and running. And I think we'll kind of leave it right there and then jump into our other story. It's pretty good so far. What do y'all think? I think it's really good. It's really good. All right. So we're going to go into our break here and try to troubleshoot. Here we go. All right. Okay. So that didn't pop up. Even the crossbar isn't popping up. Okay, so let's see. I wonder. trace that. Into the booth. All right. So this recognizes. Maybe I unplugged it. No, because then it wouldn't be getting power. Da-da-da-da. Okay, that's in there. Okay, it's not unplugged. And that one. Trace that around to here. This one. It's that one. I could go off here because that could be the wrong one. Ad break ended. The community is back. That was quick. So I guess it only was like 2 minutes, I guess. So maybe if I do if I figure out how to do a 3-minute ad break, then it would cancel out the 3 minutes. Harsad says, what a tease. Yeah, right. Cliffhanger there. The little tease to give you a little taste, if you will, of the short stories there. And, you know, the hope is you're going to get the book, right? So, yeah, couldn't figure that out. That is interesting. Okay. Tell you what, let's do this. Let's go on a quick 5-minute break. I will be right back as I try to work on this. If I cannot figure it out by the end of 5 minutes, we're going to roll without it. We're just going to go into the second story right away because I don't want to wait any longer and waste you all's time. So let's go to a quick break, and I'll play you some music so you don't have to listen to me going, what is it? What? And, you know, you at least listen to something. All right. I will mute myself and we'll go into a little bit of music. I'll be right back. Hey, y'all, guess what I just figured out? Figured out what the problem was. I have no idea why I did it. But that's fine. That's fine. It's perfectly fine. We're going to go over into the actual booth now, shall we? Here we go. Hey, that's the booth. Hey, everybody. Here we go. Figured out not why, but I figured out what happened. Just for some reason, the camera inside that specific scene decided not to work. I just created a brand new one, added the exact same thing back in, and it worked. Bizarre. I don't know why. Because, you know, I'm live streaming. That's why. Yeah. GG indeed, Hearthside. GG indeed. All right. All right. All right. Okay. Alrighty. I've done it. Weird and a little frustrating. Yeah, it's the streaming for the most part, I can't complain, has been fairly smooth so far. It's really usually just me fighting with how does Twitch work and ads and all that kind of stuff. But this is my first like real hardcore technical issue. And it wasn't caused by me not unmuting myself this time. So, you know, it's getting better. It's getting better. Here we go. Okay. All right, let's go over to our second story, and we're going to start that one real quick. Let me put out this information here for you again in stream. Just so you know, if you haven't heard it yet, or if you're just tuning in, check out the author's website there. That's a little bit about them. And more probably importantly, the book that we're reading from tonight, a collection of short stories here. The book's called Push Me, and it's a new debuting book, and it's written by Lonnie Busch here, who's joined us in chat as well. So if you have any questions for the author, feel free, let him rip. But we're going to roll into a second story this evening and read you a little bit of that, so you can kind of get a taste of kind of more of the offerings from the book. So I think you'll like this one as well, especially if you like the first one. And we'll roll up there. Let me get it queued up and going. We'll roll right into it. All right. There we go. All right. That looks like it's running. That looks like it's running. Very good. Here we go. Alley Fighter. Phyllis got me good this time. All 10 of my white Van Housen dress shirts were knotted at the sleeves, strung together like cut-out paper dolls or a chorus line. There's no time to undo the knots, and even if there were, the sleeves would look like flexible straws. My wife did this. Phyllis calls them practical jokes, but I can't find anything practical about them. We've been married 2 months, and I'm seeing her. We've been married 2 months, and I'm seeing a side to her I've not seen before. On my way to the office, I wonder if Phyllis noticed that I had changed the tire on her new 280Z. Last night, while she was jogging, I slipped out into the garage and removed her passenger side rear wheel, replacing it with her spare tire, one of those dreadful little donuts, short on tread and character. I put her original tire in the trunk of my car. I doubt she will find my joke inventive or intriguing, because I'm not even sure what the joke is about, but it was all I could think of. I'm new to this. She tells me I better get up to speed if I'm going to be a contender. She and her brother played these games on each other since they were kids, continuing well into adulthood until her brother died in a skiing accident 3 years ago. It happened before I met her. She told me about Michael on our honeymoon in Maui. He probably died thinking I planned his accident somehow, she said. Michael had a stroke while riding the ski lift and fell to his death.
Doctors said he was probably dead before he hit the snow. The man sitting next to him on the chairlift said he slumped over and slipped beneath the bar. The man grabbed Michael's coat but couldn't hold on. Michael would have been comforted knowing his death was the result of one of my pranks, even though it wasn't. How could it be? Phyllis was smiling, staring past the palm trees outside our bungalow window when she told me. When I noticed her eyes pooling, she got up and went to the bathroom. A few minutes later, she said she was starving and suggested we go to dinner at the Blue Crab Cafe. She hasn't talked about her brother's death since. When I get to the office, Byron is the first to notice the burgundy polo shirt under my suit jacket. Casual today, huh? My desk is stacked high with policies, but I can't concentrate. My mind on Phyllis's new 280Z, the donut tire I put on her car. What if it blows out on the highway, causing her to crash? Or what if it goes flat in a bad part of the city? Suddenly, my neck is itchy and my armpits are swimming pools. When I asked Phyllis about the rules of engagement, she said, "Fun stuff, you know? You don't want anyone to get hurt." One night, when she'd just returned from the store, I thought it would be a good trick to tell her she'd had a phone call from the office, even though she hadn't. When she got off the phone, she was shaking her head. "You don't understand," she told me. "This isn't like April Fool's stuff. Don't you know what a practical joke is?" I thought I did. "You have to be creative," she said, "but you don't want to hurt anyone." That word, hurt, was the troubling detail. Did she mean physically or emotionally? The guidelines were vague. For instance, the night she put cayenne pepper in the Dixie cup of my mouthwash I gargled, and it burned like hell. I questioned her about it. When she stopped laughing, she told me I was a baby, then rolled over to go to sleep. I call her at the office because I need to know she arrived safely, that the donut didn't explode, sending her careening off a wall or into oncoming traffic. Her receptionist answers, and she says she isn't in yet. "Did she call?" I asked Mimi. "It's after 10:30. "No, Mr. Markinson, not yet. Should I have her call when she comes in?" Visions of mangled and fiery metal glow inside my skull. "Early lunch today, Kevin?" Byron asks as I hurry past his office toward the elevator. Driving down Highway 40, I can't believe I pulled such a stupid stunt. Even if it doesn't turn out badly, Phyllis will not be pleased. She will claim it was a bad prank, and that the potential for physical harm was too great, practically inevitable. Of course, she would not use those words, even though she's a lawyer. She would say something like, "What the hell were you thinking about? I could have been killed, Kevin." Not finding her car on the highway, I drive past the Crazy Beans coffee shop, then Sammy's Delicatessen in the Central West End. She could be in court today, but Mimi would have told me that, and I have no idea where Phyllis might be. So I go back home thinking she might be there, that maybe she forgot her depositions or something. The house is quiet. The garage empty. I get back in my Audi and retrace her route from the house to the office. Nothing. And now I'm panicked. The cell phone battery is low and I can't hold a signal. So I find a parking spot near her office building and head up to the 21st floor. The polished brass plate, law offices of Garnesi, Seiler, and Fick greets me when I step from the elevator. Phyllis is the Garnesi, third of the title. Mimi is on the phone when I hurry to the reception desk. "Is she in yet?" I ask. Mimi nods and smiles, holding her palm over the receiver. "Yes, Mr. Markinson, go on in." Relieved by the absence of shock and horror on Mimi's face when I ask about my wife, I hurry down the hallway toward Phyllis's office, secure in the belief that everything is okay. "Nice shirt," Phyllis says, smiling up from behind her desk. All right. Oh, hey, that's what all the scrolling was. It was a raid. All right. Micah Psycho, how's it going? How was your stream this evening? Hopefully it was very good. Heartside says, I enjoyed being benevolently pranked once. Okay. Existential Snake Raid. Hey, how's it going? Thanks for the raid, everybody. Thanks for stopping by. All right, going through all that. Tonight, so we're reading this is actually the second story, short story in a short story collection called Push Me by Lonnie Busch. This particular story is the second in the actual book. We read the first one tonight, had some technical difficulties, and then figured that out, and now we're back reading a part of the second book. So you're kind of caught up. We're just a couple pages into the second story here. And let me put out a little bit of information for you there in the channel about the author, Mr. Lonnie Busch there, and the link to the book. And what's special about this link this evening, the debut book, Push Me by Lonnie Busch, is that it's free today and tomorrow, the digital copy of it. So get in there if you like this book or you think somebody might like it. It'd make a good gift, right? A collection of stories here. Free. Can't get better than that, right? Just for today and for tomorrow, which is kind of a special thing that Lonnie set up for the stream and for all of you. So if it's something that you think you might like to tuck into, or somebody you know might want to tuck into it, then go ahead and pick it up. Click on the link there. And you can check out all of Lonnie's other works by clicking on the link there, LonnieBusch.com. And check it out if you want. I thought it was pretty cool. Can't remember if I asked yet or not, but how was your stream tonight? Hopefully it was good. Did you do any reading tonight? Get some fun reading in. Hopefully less flubs than I've been having this evening, but there it goes. Like I said, monitors are starting to kill my eyes, though. I'm going back to physical books next. I get that. It's like a fine balance between the brightness and, the page turn for me, right? The physical book having to account for that page turn noise versus the digital no page turn noise, but then you have to deal with the brightness, right? I hear that like the blue light glasses help some people, although I guess there isn't really a lot of evidence out there whether it really does help or not. But even if it's placebo, why not, right? I mean, if it helps, it helps. Some people say it does. I don't know. Just finished reading the Mortal Kombat novel. Oh, cool. I feel accomplished. Finished it. Yeah. Finishing a book, always great. I just finished a 25-hour-long sci-fi book that I'm narrating, and I'm in the middle. I'm about halfway through the editing of it. So far, I'm also editing it myself, and cannot wait. It'll be an incredible, rewarding feeling finishing that. So this is no millions of flubs. Hey. That's how it goes, right? I think we were talking about it during one of the ad breaks. It's kind of, I think, interesting, like when I watch other like narrators, seeing kind of how the pie or the cake is made, right? Where you see all the mistakes and everything. And because when you get the audiobook, it's just perfect, right? You have no clue what went into it, nor should you, right? I'm not saying you should, if it's done well, but I think it's always interesting, right? And sometimes watching like very experienced narrators having the same problems I do, not that I wish that on them, makes me feel a little bit better. Like I'm not the only one, So I like watching the other narrators there as well, which Harside Gaming in the chat is one as well. So check out their channel. I wonder if I can do a shout out from here, from my phone. I've never tried it. Let's try it. There you go. Yeah, it does work. Sweet. Now, how do I get rid of chat? Or the thing. There we go. Now I can see chat again. But yeah, fantastic narrator as well. Check out his channel as well. But I read it like an 80s action movie, so it was awful, but fun. I'm like, okay, now I have to go back and watch a VOD of that because it's one of my, I don't know if it's like a secret thing, but I love 80s movies. That and really, really bad sci-fi movies. Those are like things that I gravitate towards. So I'm going to check that out. I'm going to check that out. I'm going to watch it. That description reminds me of Necronado, which I also just finished. Oh, Necronado. That was, okay, a fan of bad sci-fi movies. Speaking of, Harside just finished Necronado, which is Sharknado, but think about it, zombies, need I say more? Check out those VODs, right? Yep, it worked. Good. Terrible puns after murdering people. Love it. Love it. Like a good Schwarzenegger film, you know? Like, I still think some of his best lines were as Mr. Freeze in the terrible Bat Nipple movie, Batman. What was that? Was that the third one? Because there was the Keaton one, the best one. The Keaton one, arguably. Was there a double Keaton one, or did Val Kilmer come next? I think Kilmer's next, wasn't he? There was Keaton. No, because there was Catwoman. I remember in that one, Michelle Pfeiffer, who could forget, with the Penguin. So maybe it was, and then was the Clooney one next? That was the Bat Nipple one. Can't remember now. Anyways, Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze had some of the best 80s lines. Just saying. I think that might have been the 90s, though, technically. But Schwarzenegger, the ultimate 80s action hero with the amazing lines. And Stallone, too. Can't forget Stallone. All right. Now let's jump back into it. Shall we? Where did we leave off? All right. This is the first time I'm reading tonight off of a Kindle edition. It's not what I usually use, so I apologize for my weird pauses as it tries to catch up. Switching pages. Okay, so we just walked into the house. So basically to set it up where we left off at, new married couple, and they've been pulling, well, the wife, I guess, is good at doing practical jokes, and the husband's really not. And he just decided to pull a practical joke that wasn't a very good one, where he replaced her tire with a donut, like the spare tire, the donut tire. So now he's going to the office to make sure she's okay, because now he's racked by guilt, right? And apparently she's a lawyer. So we're walking into her office to have a confrontation about not a good idea, right? So we will continue from there. Real quick catch up. All right. All right. So let's actually go back a page and continue from that sentence. Then we'll go forward. Come on. There we go. All right. Mimi is on the phone when I hurry to the reception desk. Is she in yet? I ask. Mimi nods and smiles, holding her palm over the receiver. Yes, Mr. Markinson, go on in. Relieved by the absence and shock, excuse me, relieved by the absence of shock and horror on Mimi's face when I ask about my wife, I hurry down the hallway toward Phyllis's office, secure in the belief that everything is okay. Nice shirt, Phyllis says, smiling up from behind her desk. When she stands to welcome me, I seize her in a bear hug, afraid to let go. I don't like this game. I'm not good at it. Growing up for me was a T.S. Eliot kind of thing, a childhood of quiet desperation. The most jarring incident I can remember as a kid was my dad's flannel shirt catching fire during Christmas dinner when he reached across a candle for the ham platter. I had no idea flannel was so flammable. My dad quickly patted out the fire with his other hand, then wrestled a huge slab of pork onto his plate. You're kind of frisky today, Phyllis says, caught in my embrace, unable to read me. Mistakenly, she interprets my trepidation as sexual overture. Should I lock the door? She asks. When I don't respond, she apparently senses something wrong. I feel her hand slide up my back. A soothing touch, caressing my shoulder blades, my head, my scalp. Baby, are you all right? She whispers in my ear, leaning back enough to study my eyes. At first, I can't meet her gaze, too embarrassed by what I must tell her next. After I explain about the spare tire, she just stares, her lips slightly parted, her eyes expressionless. She steps to the door and eases it shut, then sits in one of the chairs next to her ficus. "That's kind of dangerous, don't you think?" she finally says. "I mean, what's the point of the gag? Was I supposed to be killed in a car accident on the way to work today?" I sit in the chair next to her, limp with shame, unsure myself what effect my prank was intended to produce. "Let's don't do this anymore, okay?" I say, reaching out to take her hand. "Okay, if that's how you want it," she says, the disappointment in her voice almost as crushing as the guilt. "It can be a lot of fun, though, Kevin. You just have to think a little, you know? I mean, it wasn't a bad prank, really. Kind of creative. But those goofy spares aren't very safe on the highway. I don't think you're supposed to go over 40 with one, and you know how I drive." I feel dejected, my head slumped in disgrace, my eyes fixed on the weave of Phyllis's carpet. She lifts my hand from the chair, cradling it in hers. I'm running scenarios of devastation through my head, her 280Z tumbling end over end down the highway like an Olympic gymnast. I wonder how Phyllis will handle being married to someone who doesn't really enjoy practical jokes. How will she feel living in a hoax-free life? Will she lose interest, become bored, seek thrills elsewhere? Even though this is her first marriage, it is not mine, but I hoped it would be my last. Phyllis pulls my face up by my chin, and her short black hair is a wonderful, chaotic experiment, her eyes shimmering, exotic seaports. She leans in and kisses me on the lips, her tongue lingering with mine, a couple of baby penguins. I'm immediately aroused. "Can you take off early?" I ask. "No, but I won't be late tonight. We can order pizza, get naked under the comforter on the couch, and watch a movie. How does that sound?" For some reason, being naked on the couch is more exciting for her than being naked in bed. I, on the other hand, don't really care where we get naked. I nod, pulling her close again, smelling her hair, her neck. I get up to leave. "Where's your car parked?" I ask. "I'll change your tire." I don't tell her that I have her tire in my trunk, that I had left her without a spare. So far, she has taken this pretty well. I don't want to send her into apoplexy. She tells me her car is in the parking garage, section C, space 67, and thanks me for taking care of it, assuring me that it was a good prank, even though we both know it wasn't. After getting my car from the street, I drive to the parking garage and take the ticket from the attendant, then drive to section C, easing my Audi along the parked cars until I find her burgundy Z. I'm horrified when I pop open my trunk. Her tire is gone. Did I leave it in the garage at home? I'm almost certain I put it in my trunk, thinking I might have to bring it to her. Then it hits me. I walk around to the passenger side of Phyllis's car, spy the sleek cast aluminum alloy wheel, the shiny black tire, and can almost hear laughter 21 floors above me. I recall how long she was in the garage this morning before I heard the garage door open and close. It's unsettling that she could turn my prank back on me. How did her brother endure this? How could anyone? Nothing to this point in my life has prepared me for such a relationship, and I'm afraid the pranks will spin out of control, causing irreparable damage somehow. That's irreparable. I'm afraid the pranks will spin out of control, cause irreparable damage somehow. I deal with actuary tables every day, probabilities. It's how I make my living. This is risky business, and someone will get hurt. It's inevitable. And the casualty will probably be me. I think we'll stop there. Hey, the long con. Exactly. She wouldn't notice? Yeah, exactly. It's starting to click in as we go on here, which I think is, in terms of practical jokes, it's pretty good, right? Turning it against the other one. So I think many more hijinks will probably ensue here as this story goes on. Thanks again, Harside, for keeping me accountable there with the flubs. I flubbed a line 2 times. I think we were not counting. I definitely wasn't. So I think it was probably more like 40 at this point, but we'll take 2. We take the win. We take those. We take those. I think one of my buddies who's a mod in the channel turned this into a drinking game last time, and I wouldn't recommend it. Wouldn't recommend it unless the beverage you're consuming is water, and even then, there's only so much of that you can drink before it becomes toxic too. So be careful with that. But hey, whatever floats your boat. Really good short story so far, and I want to keep reading it. I really do, but I don't want to ruin it. If you like the story too. Ad break. Okay, ad break coming up. So we will wait before we go into that. So it was a good time to pause, as it turns out. I'm going to go back to the desk so I can see when that ad break ends, because it doesn't tell me on my stream manager on my phone. Because why would it, right? We're going to fix that next stream. We're not going to have that happen again. Let's go back to the desk, shall we? Yeah. Whoa. What happened over here? That was odd. It was on some weird page. All right. We're back from the ad break in 12 seconds here. Just enough time to finish this off. All right, and we should be back from the ad break now. Woo! We're back, yay! Hopefully I got to the end of the story before that started. I don't know what the timing was there. But if I didn't, I can always go back and finish it, so let me know. But we stopped there after we noticed Phyllis turning the practical joke against our gentleman here. Which I think is pretty good. I think it's pretty good. I was saying too, probably during the ad break, that I really want to keep bringing the story because it's so good. But I'm not going to do that, because if you want to figure out how it ends, you got to pick it up for yourself. I got myself a copy. Go pick yourself up a copy. I might actually have to pick up the paper. I got a little collection going. I don't know if you can see it back there, but got a little collection going of books. So I think I need the paperback of this one. It's good. I like the stories in here. And I definitely want to finish them. So if you also want to finish them, let me give you a link. And what's cool about tonight's stream, we were talking about all throughout the stream today, but just a reminder, if you just slipped in here, there's a special little link that you can use in the chat that you can grab the book, the debut of Push by Lonnie Busch, Lonnie Busch, sorry, for free today and tomorrow, which, hey, can't get a better deal than that. You want to pick yourself up one, want to pick up a loved one. It's that holiday season. I don't know if you can tell, it's snowing in here. What more could you ask for in terms of giving you indicators? It's time to pick up them gifts, get the shopping done. Don't wait till last minute. Pick yourself up Push by Lonnie Busch. Perfect gift. And you can get it for free tonight and tomorrow. Use that link. Check it out. And you should also check out Lonnie's other books. I'd be remiss if I didn't say that. Fantastic other books and other offerings, not just in this genre, but other genres too. I'm taking a look at that. What was it? Cargo 4, I think is what it was. Let me make sure I'm saying that right. No, Cargo Hold. It has a 4 on the door, which is why I thought it was Cargo 4. Cargo Hold 4. 4 on the door. There we go. But definitely check out his website and pick yourself up a copy of maybe some of those books if you're into his writing, which I am for sure. You have a new fan, Lonnie, for sure. Hopefully you've enjoyed the stream tonight. We read 2 stories, feisty stories of love and loss, and I like this one. This one's pretty funny. I like where it's going. And I'm going to finish it on my own. That was Alley Fighter. And then the first story that we read through, which is the first short story in this compilation, was called The Fate of Ecstasy, which was the town of ecstasy, which I thought was kind of interesting. And I like where that was going to. Stinking aliens. Read it. You'll see what I mean if
if you weren't with us tonight at the beginning of that one. Fantastic stories, fantastic author. Thank you so much for giving us that special link and the special price of free for its debut here, Lonnie. I appreciate it. And if you're picking yourself up a copy in the chat and the stream there, I'm sure you're appreciative of that too. So thank you very much. Pick yourself up a copy. And Harsat says, yeah, snappy title. Absolutely. What we're going to do now, though, we're going to talk a little bit about the next streams coming up. And then we're going to go ahead and raid another reader if we can find one. And if we can't find another reader, then we'll raid someone. We're going to pass it forward, if you will. And Airbush, oh, that's the author there, Airbush1. Says, thank you. You are welcome, sir. Thank you for letting us read a little bit of your work here. Fantastic work, sir. Absolutely. I thoroughly enjoyed these short stories. And I need to finish the second one now. Get into it and finish it because it's good. Now, like cliffhung myself. I got to know, right? So anyways, make sure you're using that link in the channel today and tomorrow, again, to pick yourself up a copy for free. Next stream will probably be next Wednesday, maybe. I'm thinking about maybe doing some more Christmas theme stuff. We'll see. I'm still working on that one, but there's a possibility I might have to skip next Wednesday. So if you don't see me next Wednesday, I will be back for the following next Wednesday. There's a couple things up in the air. I didn't grab any stories from any authors because I didn't want to have the possibility to have to cancel it or push it back. So I might not have a stream next Wednesday, but it's all up in the air. I will try to let you know on the social medias if I'm going to have one. Usually on the Monday or Tuesday beforehand, I'll let you know as I do. And then we'll go from there. We'll see. And if I do have the stream, then we'll do some maybe some public domain Christmas stories, if you will. We'll see. We'll see from there. I might have another holiday Christmas horror themed one that we could do that's kind of interesting. More to come there, but just to give you a heads up, maybe next Wednesday, but definitely the one following, we'll have another stream kicking up. I'm also going to be starting some voice acting streams coming up here. There's a couple of different audio dramas and podcasts that I'm a part of. And in asking some of those folks that run those shows, if they wouldn't mind me doing some lines and kind of talking about those different audio dramas and projects, they said, absolutely, please go for it. So we're going to do that. And then maybe we'll get into, I don't know, I was thinking maybe doing some auditions for some of those things too, because there's hundreds of those out there. So anyways, more things to come, more voice acting stuff to come, and maybe a little bit of gaming coming here in the future. I'm trying to nail down a buddy of mine to maybe do some GTA RP, get to flex those acting muscles and improv muscles in situations in a RP environment, if you will. So anyways, more to come. I'll try to get actually a schedule here I'm shooting for the mid-month, if not at least by the new year. I want to have like a firm streaming schedule for us so that you know exactly when I'm going to be here and we don't have to do this. Well, I know it's Wednesdays, but when else? So we're going to solve that hopefully by next time. Anyways, enough blabbering by me. Hopefully you enjoyed the stream today. Thank you so much for joining in. I really appreciate it. Harside, buddy, thank you. You're a trooper sticking with me this whole time. The gift of the Magi. Love that one. Ooh, okay. I have to check that out. I'm going to check. Thank you. I'm going to check that one out. I had this author line. Nah, never mind. I won't. I'll save that for next time. To be continued. But yeah, okay. Let's see who's on right now. Is Neff still on? Oh, Neff is still on. Neff is a fantastic reader, streamer as well. It looks like they're reading right now, part 1, Everyone in My Family Has Killed Someone by Benjamin Stevenson. Really, really holiday Christmassy. So let's go over and raid them, and we'll go from there. All right, let's do the raid thing. I will see you all over there if you're going to follow me. We'll check out Neff's stream, and hopefully you will enjoy it as well. Oh, hey, thanks for the follow, Lonnie. I appreciate it. Hopefully you'll tune in for more. And hey, if you ever want to feature another, chapter, you got anything you want to kind of push out there, let me know. we'll get those going as well. Now, let's go to Neff's stream. I'm going to put you on the leaving screen here, maybe, and then we'll go over there. How's that sound? Thank you, everybody, again for joining me. And one more time before we go, I want to put out the information with that link in there for the book and Lonnie's website there, so you can check that out if you'd like. All right, Neff, here we come. Here we come. Maybe we're going over there. I don't know. Alrighty, here we go. In 7 seconds, I'll join you over, if you want to follow me, to another reading streamer. See you there.
The